Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Magoffin County officials are discussing water concerns, asking city agencies to consider making a change. And a barbershop has been a community favorite for 12 years. Now, due to damage from the May tornado, the owner is having to leave that location behind.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Monday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this June 30th. It's 5:31 this morning. And Megan, it's a little bit hot today, so I know how we're feeling. Not too happy about it, but at least, as you said, it may cool down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not happy about the warm temperatures today, but I am happy about the cool down we'll see tomorrow. But let's talk about this morning, as those temperatures are basically in the 70s and 60s. We're right on that border between those two. Seeing the coolest temperatures, 65 degrees as you travel towards Clintwood, Warrest 74, and Monticello. This afternoon, we're looking again at the upper 80s, very similar to what we saw this past weekend, even seeing that 90-degree mark possibly being hit in Pikeville and Prestonsburg. And then tomorrow, we'll see a mixture of the low to mid 80s. Here's a look at satellite and radar. All in all, nice and clear. Maybe a little rain at the tip of Rowan County, but we'll see those scattered showers and storms return as we're heading into the afternoon and evening hours. That'll even linger into the beginning of your Tuesday. Here's a look at that 12-hour forecast for the day. You'll see those temperatures warming up as we head into the afternoon, and those chances for storms ramping up as we're heading into the afternoon hours. Amelia.
A Kentucky man faces charges after police say he used a torch to intentionally ignite fires inside a home. That incident happened in Logan County, Kentucky, Thursday evening when sheriff's deputies responded to a house fire. Police say Rodney Belcher used a torch on purpose to start multiple fires inside the home. He was charged with attempted murder and arson, among others. Fighting fires never stops, even under a heat advisory. Two fires broke out Friday morning within close proximity to one another in Lexington. One on Reading Road, the other on Center Parkway. After extinguishing those fires, some of the same crews responded to flames on the balcony of a condo on Reading Road. Well, these two fires happen in the early morning hours. When it's a bit cooler, fighting fires never stops, even in that scorching heat.
The gear is very smothering. It has a vapor barrier. It doesn't allow you to sweat. So you're looking at that 30 to 45 minute window, and after that you're going to be getting a little bit of a rest. And so that may mean it's bringing more people on scene. We don't want a big area unprotected, so we'll rotate crews around. We call it move up. So we'll move up companies to empty stations to kind of fill that void.
Chief Lockard says when crews take their breaks on scene, they get the chance to hydrate and get a snack before going back out. The Letcher County School Board is facing a big decision. Bus drivers for the school system are threatening a walkout if they don't get a 5% pay increase. WYMT's Neely Green spoke with drivers about their concerns.
Bus drivers for Letcher County Schools say they plan to walk out if they don't see an increase in their pay.
If we don't get the 5% raise, then we will be peacefully walking out. We'll be parking up the buses and we won't be doing our runs on the first day of school.
The starting pay for a Letcher County bus driver with no experience is $12.93. Bus driver Rebecca Fields says with their responsibilities, a pay raise is not unreasonable.
I mean, it's just so low of pay. You can go anywhere else and you can make a lot more money. And we have a lot of responsibility. I mean, a whole lot of responsibility. We have to make sure those kids get to and from school safe.
The drivers say they have a limited crew, and when school is in session, they have to fill the gaps.
This is my first year driving, and when I started, I was the only sub driver in the county.
We don't have enough sub bus drivers to cover. If somebody's off, we have to double up, and it's mentally exhausting.
Fields says the district splits their pay throughout the calendar year to pay them during summer months.
And they hold some of our check. That way we do get paid during the summer. So that's one of the reasons that we don't really bring home very much over 2 weeks.
The drivers say they will either get the 5% increase or will find jobs elsewhere. In Letcher County, Neely Green, WYMT Mountain News.
The drivers are expecting an answer at the next school board meeting for Letcher County on July 31st at 6:30 at the bus garage. Superintendent Dennis Yance gave WYMT a statement saying in part, quote, "We are hopeful that a resolution can be reached without disruption to student transportation. We respect the rights of our employees to advocate for better wages, and we remain open to dialogue that leads to a fair outcome for everyone involved," end quote. Magoffin County officials are discussing water concerns, asking city agencies to consider making a change. With years of sewer and water complaints from customers of Salyersville Water Works, Magoffin County Judge Executive Matt Wireman says he feels it's time for the county to offer potential solutions. Wireman says more than 100 sewer customers are dealing with routinely overfilled sewer systems, and the area is seeing astronomical water loss. So he believes the Salyersville Department should consider closing and merging with the county's department.
It's my proposal that we work toward the PSC, Public Service Corp, reviewing all the documentation and financials and assets and liabilities and start moving toward one water district in Magoffin County.
WYMT contacted Mayor Stanley Howard to hear his thoughts about the proposal, but has not yet heard a response to that request for comment. The legislature's Disaster Prevention Task Force met Friday morning. Kentucky Emergency Management Director Eric Gibson spoke about recent flooding and how his team is keeping the state prepared for severe weather. Gibson says preparation and response both start at the local level. Gibson says emergency management is helping FEMA go through nearly 12,000 disaster relief claims. He says 190 families that lost their homes in the floods are out of shelters and back in permanent housing. An Eastern Kentucky library is getting a solar grant. The Wolfe County Public Library was awarded the grant as part of the 2025 EBSCO Solar Grant. Officials with EBSCO Information Services announced they awarded $300,000 total to 4 institutions around the world. A Somerset man's business is struggling after the EF4 tornado hit his building last month. Jack Anderson's barber shop has been a community favorite for 12 years. His faith, music, and $14 haircuts have built him a loyal following, even drawing customers from hours away. Now, due to damage from the May tornado, Jack is having to leave this location behind. After 12 years in the same spot, he's now preparing to start fresh just down the road.
Even this tornado, trying to find a place to go was a little bit, I will say, was a little bit stressful, trying to find a new shop to go to.
Anderson says Saturday was their last day at their location, and they hope to open their new location by July 7th at 4502 South Highway 27. Bridge work will soon start in Johnson County. Transportation cabinet officials say bridge deck repairs are being made on Kentucky 1559. The work will result in the area being closed during the day, but will reopen later this evening. The targeted area is for mile 5.47 near the Hilltop Road intersection. A relaunch at the Kanawha County Recycling Center in West Virginia. A ribbon cutting ceremony was hosted Friday morning to celebrate the grand opening of a new processing building. The Slack Street Recycling Center first opened in the 1990s. Executive Director of the authority, Nicole Hunter, says this new building is an effort 10 years in the making. She thanked all of those connected to the recycling center for their unwavering support.
We really couldn't do anything. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for the residents of the county, the individuals who utilize our program, our facility. We thank them because they're the dedicated individuals. And of course, we couldn't have done it without the funding from the Kanawha County Commission and the Department of Environmental Protection's REAP grant program.
Hunter says the facility should be ready for use within the next week. Well, it is almost time for the annual WYMT Kentucky Blood Center Blood Drive. It's happening Wednesday, July 2nd from 3 to 7, right outside the station on Black Gold Boulevard. Summer is one of the most challenging times for blood donations, and officials with the Blood Center say this drive could make a major difference for local hospitals, especially with the 4th of July coming up.
What we're asking folks in this area is here's an opportunity to be intentional before the holiday. We're going to be at WYMT for 4 hours. Can you carve out an hour during your day? Maybe it's a quick break at work, or maybe it's after work. Can you stop by, be intentional, give us 45 minutes of your time, a little bit of yourself. It's going to go a long ways.
Well, you do have to be at least 16 years old with parental consent and weigh at least 110 pounds to donate. You can learn more about eligibility and what to expect at kybloodcenter.org. Well, today marks 3 years since the Allen ambush that killed 3 officers and 1 canine in Flowood County. Friday, one of the men who gave his blood for the area was honored as folks gave blood in his memory. William Petrie was a retired trooper who kept serving in different capacities throughout his life. The firefighter, sheriff's deputy, Shriner, father, husband, and friend, was also an avid blood donor. So Friday, ahead of the anniversary of the shooting that claimed his life, family, friends, and community members pulled up their sleeves for the 3rd annual William Petrie Memorial Blood Drive.
It means the world that we can partner with the Red Cross and do this in memory of Dad, and that people are still remembering him in this way, because he loved to give back to the community, and it's great that the community can come out here and help other people by giving blood today.
Today's blood drive brought in 37 units of blood for the American Red Cross. Actor Rick Hurst, best known for his role as Cletus on the Dukes of Hazzard TV show, died at the age of 79. He's remembered not just for his work on screen, but the man he was off camera. Chris McQueen of London first met Hurst at a fan event more than 25 years ago. What started as a childhood admiration grew into a deep, lasting friendship and years of memories that mean more than any photo or autograph.
Never in a million years would I ever imagine that I'd be friends with, Cletus off the Dukes of Hazzard, a TV show that I absolutely loved. Ended up with this car, but the friendship that this car has created over the years meant way more than anything else. And Rick was more than just Cletus. He was a great friend, and we're gonna miss him.
McQueen says he will remember the laughter, the phone calls, and the genuine kindness that defined who Rick Hurst was off camera, a man who loved his fans and never stopped showing up for his friends.